Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the EEARSS Podcast, produced by Terrier TV here at Titusville High School. I am Narf. That is, that is, I was going to say something funny, but that is Cindy, and that is Bill, and we are gathered today.
We are gathered here
today with Dan.
Yes.
Dan, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
It's been an interesting correlation of the last maybe 10 minutes of us just,
Yes.
I'm not sure, being goofy or normal. I don't know how to do this. Cindy.
Frank.
Just having a talk.
Your middle name is what?
Why are we doing this?
No, I never knew. There's like so many things that have come to.
We were having a conversation and I said, geez Louise, and didn't think of it. And Cindy was like, what did I do wrong? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't say anything about you. Evidently, I did.
Little did you know,
Yes, my
Bill.
name is Cynthia Louise because my dad thought he was funny.
Just thought you weren't going to get beat up enough?
Why
I guess not.
Why would you get beat up for that?
It was Christmas time
Kids are mean.
when he found out he was going to be a father, and he had a few drinks, and he thought naming me Cindy Lou would just be adorable.
There you
So
go.
he had to,
It is,
he had to
isn't
take it up a notch and name me at birth like I was an
gosh.
87-year-old woman knitting in a rocking chair. Cynthia
There you go.
Louise. Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful name.
Cindy
is.
Lou Who when she
Greatest
grew up.
movies of all
Yes,
time.
there you go. See,
Yeah,
you moved.
why are you taking the? Why was it taking the wrong direction? I don't understand. I think it's a great name.
It is a great name.
I only ever heard that name when I was in trouble.
But now
That's fair. That is a normal thing.
I have heard you say that you have gotten in trouble for what you named your child. Because evidently you can't
Specifically how I
spell.
spelled it.
Yes.
She has a problem with how I spelled it.
Right.
What is wrong with how you spelled it?
It was not the appropriate.
It's hard to find on a keychain.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
That's the problem.
You go to Disney and you go look at all the license plates.
There are many different ways to spell Madeline, and the way I spelled it is not the most
It's
common.
not the one. I love. There was an episode of The Simpsons where Bart was looking for a license plate. The only one he could find was Bort, and he's like, "Why Bort?" And then they we're sold out of the Bort license plates again. We got to get more, but there was no Bart. But that was like that when I went. I mean,
I spelled it with 2 D's, and most people spell it with 1, and that is her biggest trauma of her entire life. Apparently,
that she's unique.
I gave her an extra D in her name.
You know,
and now it's
This
not
is a
on
legit
keychain.
conversation.
speaking of middle names, though,
Multiple times.
that's my grandmother's middle name.
Madeline.
Is Madeline? Yes.
Is it with 2
With
D's?
2 D's?
No, it was not. It was not.
You couldn't.
No, she
you
knew.
couldn't just
Her
lie.
parents- Same page.
Her parents knew how to spell.
No, what? So
You had the chance to lie for me, and
I know.
nobody would have known.
I know. I could have taken the bullet, but I didn't.
no, at the time, when you were doing that, you were like, "Oh, my daughter's name's gonna be unique."
Well,
Is that
no.
what you were thinking?
No.
She just didn't
I
know how to
knew-
spell.
No. Also, no. I knew we were going to call her Maddie because her father is Matthew, and his friends always called him Maddie. And when we found out she was a
Okay.
girl, we were like, well, she could still be Maddie.
Maddie
go.
or Matty?
Maddie.
Maddie. Yeah.
They called him Matty, even though
Yeah.
it's
Well,
Matty.
they called him Matty, but
Yeah.
I'm
It's
lost
close.
in
The
translation
the
a
name
little
sounds
bit.
the same.
It does.
Frank.
So you figured since
It's
Maddie
synonymous.
had 2 T's, you'd put 2 D's.
Well, Maddie has 2 D's.
Right.
yeah, but you figured since Matty
And I knew
had
she
2
was going to be
T's,
called Maddie, so I thought Madeline.
Right.
I'm the only person.
As we're
thinks
breaking
that.
this down, it's kind of I'm
You get why she's upset?
no,
You're
I-
siding with
no.
with her.
I'm saying I was gonna say I kind of get where you're coming from. It's a little bit of a stretch, but you're her mother. You can name her whatever you want to. You
Thank
could have
you.
named her Box of Rocks.
I could have done a
It's
lot
true.
worse. I think.
That's true.
yeah, I mean,
Indeed.
if that was your job,
I have gotten in trouble before because I'm terrible at reading names. And on the roll, first day of class, you got all these kids' names. And I butchered some of them. And one of them I butchered. And the kid was indignant about it. And I said, it's not my fault. Your mom can't spell. And
Yikes.
so we had
Yikes.
a unique relationship after that.
I'm sure you did.
Yes. She was my favorite.
I have
Aw.
noticed in announcing football games that I butcher a lot of names. Well,
Oh.
a lot of those names are very hard to understand.
They are. Well,
Like,
their mothers couldn't spell.
I'll ask them, like when we're in the booth, when the NJRTC kids are there, I'll be like, hey, how do you pronounce that?
Right.
And sometimes they'll actually know the person and
Right, because they'll know it and they've heard it over and over again.
There's a particular name that he's a running back, and for the first 2 years, I think I announced here, I got his name wrong every time. And finally, in the third year, his parents started yelling at me from like the third row all the way to the top. It said like this. And I was like, okay. So I would try to say it like that. And somebody else would be like, why are you saying it like that now? You've been saying it like this the whole time. Like, his parents said it was like this.
That's right. We're going with his parents. They're the authority on the matter.
I think they know.
Yes,
like, oh my
know.
garage. And then, of course, for homecoming, I usually, so I start saying all the names for homecoming. I usually just say, sorry, y'all, for whoever's name I'm going to butcher. It's going to be a lot of you. And I just jump into it because I'm sure I butcher everybody's name.
I stopped doing that when I found out that the band had an over-under with how many names I would mess up.
No, they didn't.
Oh, they did. They did. Ian told me about it. I was like, you're kidding me. He said, oh, no, yeah. It's
That's great.
It's at 8 right now. And there's a pot that's riding on it.
Okay, I want to be in the pot, and then I want to announce them at the same time.
There you go. There you go.
You get a cut on that.
Yeah.
My parents, when they taught me how to spell my name, didn't teach me how to spell Cynthia. They taught me how to spell Cindy because that's what I went by.
Right.
It was in school when the first grade, the first year that we had cubbies with our name on it, that I kept telling my teacher, I don't have a cubby. I don't have a cubby. And she was like, yes, you do, sweetheart. It's right here. That's not my name. That poor woman.
Oh, and she's trying to figure out, oh no, have I just misidentified this child?
No, stupid child can't spell her name.
Oh my garage. What a
Oh no.
Okay. All right, we have digressed
So
for
we
long
could probably talk to Dan at some point, you know.
We have
since
digressed long
We
enough.
drove all the way to be here.
What are your strong thoughts on how to spell Madeline?
Madeline, no, I've had my own struggles with the whole name thing. He was just saying, like, I go by my middle name my whole life, and then because they go, the teachers, they go in the roll call and they say, okay, Luis.
Oh, no.
Oh, they'd always say Louis or Lois or Louise or something like that. And I'd be like, no, it's Danny. Like, and they'd be like, where'd you get that from? It's my middle name and stuff. My dad's Luis. You know, but it was always a thing my whole life.
Well, yeah. Well, my son goes by his middle name, and I found out one day because I was teaching at the same high school that they were calling him his first name, and he goes by Lee. It's like, Lee, why didn't you tell him? Oh, I didn't want to make a big deal out of it.
Aww.
I said, you need to make a big deal out of it. That's your name. That's what they call you. So you say, no, I go by my middle name. I go by Lee. And so, yeah, after that. But, you know, like you said, you got to speak up for yourself. But, you know, it's sometimes it's not easy.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Wow.
But it made you the man you are today. So.
Exactly.
There we go.
This is true.
I wouldn't be here without
That's right. You wouldn't be here if they hadn't named you that.
Dan, you've had I think I need to start this a different direction. I was going to go away with it. And I was like, no, what? Hold on a second. Reverse. I've been a huge fan of Dan for a long time. A great human being, super hardworking guy that I've been able to admire and watch work for quite a while. Dan, talk us a little bit about through your career and up to what you do now.
Well, shoot. Well, I guess I went to. I guess my career started. I guess in college. I went to college to get a bachelor's in zoology. So I went to Kent State University in Kent, Ohio, which people only know because of the 1970 shooting.
Right, and the song, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a song?
Ohio by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Yeah,
it's a great song.
Do I know this song?
Oh yeah, you know it.
I know this song. Have I heard it?
Sure.
Sure, when they cut it together.
I love how he's looking to us for guidance.
Yeah, you know it.
Okay, maybe I know it. Okay,
You
sorry,
do.
Dan. Go ahead.
No, yeah, but I went there and I spent 4 years doing the college thing and stuff, and I try to get in with a bunch of professors and trying to get under their wings and be like, hey, can I work in your lab? Can I do this and that? So I got some good experience doing a lot of field work with like electrofishing for freshwater fish. I did some stuff with bats and whatnot, just trying to get my foot in wherever I could.
Electrofishing? What is that?
Oh yeah,
is that when it sounds cool?
It is pretty
Is it
cool.
what it sounds like?
Yeah, it's pretty. Well, I don't know what does it sound like to you.
Yeah, break it down, Cindy.
Sounds
break
like
it down.
you're throwing two leads in the water and shocking the crap out of something.
That is what my brain heard.
That's pretty much all it is. Like there's
What?
different kinds, like the big, like the fisheries people, like at FWC now they have like big boats that have electrodes that go in the water, and they have this big setup. When I did it, I had basically a backpack with a bunch of like batteries in it and like a little rat tail that went into the water.
Like the Ghostbusters.
It looked exactly like that thing.
No way.
It looked exactly, and I had this little hoop, and you would just go around and you just kind of like wave it around, and then you'd have two people next to you with nets, and if something got shocked, it would kind of float up for a second, and you'd go and net it and put it in a bucket, and then you'd go and measure it and count it, sex it, all you have to do all of that stuff. So
What?
it was a fun time because you just be out in the stream all day doing that stuff.
Cindy's having way too much fun with us already. It's great.
How do you not electrocute yourself?
Good question. You don't get wet? Sometimes you do. Sometimes you get like an old pair of boots or waders and you get water coming in. You will feel a little tingle there, but the goal is to just not get wet. But
Okay.
I never thought that would make Cindy so happy.
Electrocute. I might enjoy fishing more now. I don't know.
There you go. Yes.
I don't know that it's
I
legal.
didn't know this was an
go
option.
straight home, get a car battery, and just go poking around.
I don't think it is an option.
Yeah, I don't think it's a legal, non-scientific
It's
way
like
to go fishing.
Fishing with dynamite. you can do it, but it's not legal.
Oh Lord, goodness gracious. Okay, sorry, Dan. We go on parallels here. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. It's,
Yeah. Welcome.
But so yeah, I finished my degree, and then right after I got a job naturally with my zoology degree. I got a job as a concrete inspector. So I did that for a little bit.
It just
They
makes
go.
sense.
There's that pipeline that we hear about so often.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's
Well,
tough to find a job in the field and kind of
it is.
specifically what you want to do. And I was really, my whole life I've wanted to work with crocodilians, but like to get a job specifically for that, like it's a pretty, you know how it is. Like it's a very narrow job market. But I was also like interested in working with like big cats and bears and stuff like that. So I was also like trying to look for jobs in that direction too. So I worked as a concrete inspector for like a summer, made enough money to buy a car. And then right about that time, I found an internship in Southeast Texas that worked with alligators and crocodiles and snakes and stuff. All that stuff was up my alley. It's like, oh, great, I want to go do that. It's only supposed to be for 3 months, and I ended up staying like 13 months. And it was basically like I lived like what was an old abandoned alligator farm that they converted into like an alligator sanctuary. And so basically it was run by nuisance trappers that they would bring in, instead of killing the alligators, they'd bring them into this property, and then they'd have them, and then they'd, the park was open to the public. People would come in, they'd, pay to see the alligators. We'd do educational shows. And then we had, we probably had close to 300 alligators of all different sizes and stuff. So being there the whole year plus, I got to see like every part of it, like the wintertime brumation stuff. I got to see the nesting season. I got to see nuisance work. I got to see, and these were all wild alligators. So I got to see, even though they were in captivity, they were like in natural ponds and things like that. Then we were
suit you.
like, well, yeah, getting fancy.
Wow.
Well, I guess it
Putting that
suits you
degree-
too.
Yeah,
What are you
putting that
talking
degree
about?
to use.
What are you
All right.
talking about?
I heard somebody drop that earlier. I started laughing hysterically when they did. So I'm sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
No, it was a really good experience, and it was like
Oh, that's right. You are a scientist, Frank. We forget sometimes.
Bill's killing me. I'm so sorry. Sorry,
Okay.
Dan. Okay, I'm better.
Are you better?
I'm
Okay.
trying.
Are
I really
you?
am okay.
Bring it back.
Sorry.
Deep,
Okay, I'm good.
deep breath. Should I ask him a question?
Yep.
So, okay, so you were in Texas, and you said
Mhm.
13 months. So what happened after Texas?
after Texas, I went back home for 5 months. Home
And
to
that, is that
Pennsylvania.
Ohio again? Oh,
In
no.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania,
So
okay.
I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
So you grew up in Pittsburgh. How'd you get to Kent State?
Kent State's only about like an hour and 45 minutes away.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
But like I guess of all the schools I was applying to, Kent was the only one that was nearby that had zoology.
They
as
had
a
the
degree.
program you wanted.
And they gave me the most amount of scholarship money, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna
Smart.
go there. So,
There you go. Okay.
so and it worked out really good. I really liked Kent State, so it was good. So yeah, but then I went back to, after those 5 months, went back to Texas, to Dallas this time. Found a job working at the Dallas World Aquarium under Luis Sigler, who's he's a pretty prominent member of the crocodile specialist group. So he did a lot of work with American crocs and Moralett's crocs in Mexico, a lot of pioneering work there. And then he came to Dallas, and then he did a lot of pioneering work with ex situ conservation work with Orinoco crocodiles and stuff like that. So got to work under his wing.
You just couldn't leave well enough alone, could you?
I saw my opportunity and I took it.
You did.
I was recovered.
Well played. Well played.
Yeah, Mr. Siegler is a bit of a legend himself. Yeah, he's done a little bit of everywhere, no doubt about it.
For sure. So it was really good, and being there, I got to see a lot of, different perspectives because I did, Luis did a lot of research in his day, so I got to learn a lot from him from there. But he's also a vet by trade, so I got to learn a lot from the vet side of things, the zoological side of things. So just a bunch of different, sides of that. And then after that, I found the job here in Florida, and I've been here since 2023. Working for the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, working in the alligator management program, doing stuff with them, and also my main role is as the Crocodile Response Program Coordinator. So been here doing that since it'll be 3 years in May now.
So Crocodile Response, do we have a lot of crocodiles in Florida?
Depending on who you ask. Yeah, some people say you have too many.
Okay.
Some people not enough, but I
would imagine there's more in South Florida than
correct.
Kind of where we are, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The range is basically the Keys and then coastal South Florida. But they range, they go from, you've seen like here in Brevard County and then up to Pinellas County around the coast. But most of them are concentrated in Everglades National Park and then in Monroe County and the Keys and then Miami-Dade County is where we get the most calls from people.
Okay, so they're not on the West Coast very much?
They are, just not as much, but I do think, probably in the next 10, 15 years, we'll start getting more calls up that way. Collier County is about where we get the most calls, but even then, like a year, I might get less than 10 calls.
Are they native to these areas, or are they just becoming naturalized?
They definitely are native for sure. They've been here longer than any people that have been living here for sure. They're as Floridian as, alligators in my opinion. So, or manatees or any other wildlife. But a lot of people, it's like shocking. Like they don't know that they're here or that they're supposed to be here. A lot of them.
Right. Well, we were always told, I think, that, we have alligators. We don't have crocodiles. Mm-hmm. That's the Nile or that's South America.
Or the saltwater crocodile.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. Or that they're invasive, just like everything else. I think everyone kind of got like everything that we don't, recognize as being.
Everything's invasive.
Exactly.
Well, what about what's the alligator? It's not quite an alligator. What is it?
Cayman.
Cayman. Yeah.
Caymans.
Now the
I was
cayman.
like, where's he going with this?
I knew it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
There are only
invasive,
a handful of
right?
species me and Bill know,
Yeah,
and that's one of them.
Yeah, there's established populations of spectacled caimans. In South
Okay.
Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, we've caught a couple up here over the years, but it's only been maybe 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they were a couple of good ones. But I remember catching a big caiman on the La Cita golf course one time.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a 6-footer, like a nice one.
Well, that's a big.
Yeah,
spectacle.
it was a big caiman. Yeah.
Are they more aggressive than alligators, or what's?
It's so interesting, the term aggressive when it comes to crocodilians.
Well, if they're chasing me, they're aggressive.
Well,
If they're chasing you, they might just be playful.
if you can actually find one to chase you, then that would be
Okay.
aggressive. But the odds of actually finding one to chase you, I always say people are more likely to like get struck by lightning and bit by a shark on the same day than actually
Probably,
finding
yeah.
one to chase you. That's because it's not really
They just
a thing.
don't happen a lot.
No, it's
Okay.
like running in zigzags, Bill.
I got you.
Just not one of those things.
So I've always been told you run in zigzags. That's what you do.
I run in zigzags for fun sometimes, but
Okay.
not for things chasing me.
Okay. Well,
You want a friend to get caught? You tell them, yeah, definitely for
run
sure.
in zigzag.
run in a zigzag. I'm running in a
I'm
straight
gonna run
line.
straight. You
But don't
should
worry
zig.
about me.
Take
You.
all the angles you possibly can
That's
between
right.
here and there.
'Cause
Let's see how it works out.
That's the way it works. Yes.
Good Lord. So what's the transfer been like going from the captive world and out here and doing the stuff in the wild here in Florida?
It's been interesting for sure. Because even to start, like I've never in my life, even when I was a kid, like, and I've been interested in crocodilians since I was 4 years old. I've never wanted to work in a zoo ever in my life. I'm like, I don't want to take care of animals. I want to study them and all that stuff. But that's where my path kind of took me. And it was like, all right, it does have some merit. But at the same time, it's still not what I wanted to do the rest of my life. But it was definitely interesting seeing how that goes to, because you're focused on just the animals themselves the whole time when you're in a zoo field. Whereas here now, like I think everyone that gets in the field really gets in because they like the animals themselves. Then when you get into the government side of things, it's people management more so than actual, animal management. The animals manage themselves, they're left alone, they're fine. But it's really like getting the education out and, conflicts with people and all that stuff. And when I say conflict, it's really just like when people have issues that you know, a lot of times are kind of more in their head than they are in reality.
Which happens to all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a legit thing. Yeah, it happens.
Well, fear is a weird thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when people are afraid, they're not necessarily logical, and fear is is a problem.
You can't tell people. People are allowed to express how they feel.
Sure.
And you can't tell them how to feel a certain way. Like, you can't feel like that. And it's really hard to try to have those conversations, I'm sure, without saying, look, this is not how it is. This is how it is. Well, here, let me listen to what you're saying, and then let me try to find a way to gently talk you through the reality of it.
Exactly, yeah. Trying to get people to understand that, like, when they're like, how can you guys not be acting more serious about this when there's, like, my kid could be eaten or hurt or something like that. And you're like, not that I don't care or anything like that, but, like, you're acting out of emotion. I have to act out of, you know, facts and science and things like that. So, because we acted out of emotion, we'd, you know, get rid of every single thing that people feared here like that. So. Yeah.
Wait, did you point at me when you said that?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
I have my own.
Things that we fear.
I'm not currently in situ.
You're not,
or am I? Maybe I could actually be.
You're sitting, dude. I'm telling you, you're sitting.
Yeah, but I mean, is this my normal?
Your natural
is this
habitat?
my natural environment?
Is this your natural? I don't think so.
Over the past handful of years, maybe.
Under
maybe
the
in front of the
lights?
camera in the lights. Maybe it is.
I don't
maybe
think so.
maybe it is.
You in sit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
chew.
He's sitting. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you're sitting and we're doing a show. So there you go. In sit show.
Mm-hmm.
Sit show.
That's really good. That was really good, Bill.
I'm going to start using that one.
I just have a gift for language.
Okay, so we have a lot of kids that listen to this show, a lot of kids, a lot of families, a lot of parents. If there's somebody out there that wants to get into the biology world, has a dream of one day being able to do what you do, what are some suggestions maybe you could make and help them get to where they want to go?
Oh, geez. I'd just say, like, just try to learn as much as you can beforehand. I think when it comes to college and stuff, it definitely set a lot of good foundation with, like, just kind of the broader, bigger picture type things. But when I get asked today, it's like, well, how do you know what you know about crocodiles and alligators and things like that? Like, most of that started when I was a kid. Every time we went to the library, I would get every book I could about alligators, crocodiles, dinosaurs, anything, snakes, and read those. Like, I always say I grew up during, like, the golden age of nature television, and of, like, every National Geographic documentary and, you know, Animal Planet back when it was good. You know, like, everything, I would watch all I could and try to learn everything I could from it. That for sure. Because in college, I think in total we ended up talking about alligators and crocodiles and just crocodilians in general. I think a total of maybe 5 to 10 minutes in my whole 4 years that I was there. That's, like, all we touched on. So I didn't really learn anything about, you know, the group. And then afterwards, I'd say just, you know, put yourself out there, try to put yourself in situations where you can be around people that you can just be a sponge next to. That's what I love, working in this field, and then you meet other people that have done this longer than you have, or just have a different perspective or, you know, way of getting there. And, you know, I just love being next to them, humbling yourself, just staying quiet and listen to everything they have to say. Like, when I'm with you or when I was with Luis, man, like, you just listen to what they have done and, like, how they did it. And so networking is definitely a good, I would suggest, like, if you can just put yourself around good people that are there, and also just accept that you don't know as much as you think you know, and just be a sponge. I would say that'd probably be the biggest thing. And then just, like, you know, it's cliche, but, like, never stop learning and all that stuff. But it's, you know, there's a million different, you know, perspectives and ways to do things. There's always something new to learn. And as much as you can kind of make yourself a chameleon in a variety of ways to look at a problem or you know, see something, it kind of just makes you more of a tool and asset, I think, in your career.
Now, I know you've been doing a lot of traveling as of recent, doing talks and talking to people about what you do. How's that been? How do you enjoy that, getting in front of those groups and talking about your work and things? I know for me, when I do that, it's always when you're talking about a topic that you know, it makes you a lot more comfortable than it would be, like, standing in front of a large group of people and talking about, I don't know, something I wouldn't know. Pizza, or, well, I know pizza pretty good. Maybe. I don't know. Dice, maybe dice. Let's say dice.
Dice.
Yeah.
Transmissions.
Ooh, Ernie would know transmissions. I do not.
See?
Yes, so transmissions.
There you go. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird for me. Like, I don't like public speaking, but like whenever I go to talk to people and I get into it, I'm like, I could talk to people about it all day. But when I'm out doing like presentations and stuff, especially when you're like in front of a bunch of colleagues and you're presenting in front of people, you're like, oh my God, I'm talking in front of like the chair of the CSG or something like that.
They'll
like,
know if I say
here?
something stupid.
Like, who am I to be
right.
talking about this stuff in front of these people? It's like you kind of get like imposter syndrome or whatever they call it these days,
Yep.
That's far from the truth, buddy. There's only a handful of us in the world that do what you do, and believe me, I hear it enough from enough people. You're highly respected in this field, and rightfully so.
That means a lot. Thanks. I feel about this big right now.
Oh my garage!
But
you should feel big enough to fill up the entire room, Dan. Big enough to fill up the entire room. So what is the state of crocodiles overall?
Frank
and
definitely has to get more sleep. He is not
I know, I am
allowed
not
to
the normal
do
Frank right now.
shows.
He loves to ask very hard-hitting questions without preparing people at all. So what is the state of
well, this is
your entire
no. This
field?
is this
no pressure.
No. Listen, this is it.
Yeah.
This is a layup for Dan. Trust me. Just trust the process. This is
Okay,
We
you
not.
always
say
do.
so.
We
I'm
always
not
do
trying
trust
to like grab a shovel and bury him. This is a layup for him. What is the state of the conservation of crocodiles in the state of Florida? I mean, are they is it growing? Is it going down? What's going on with their conservation efforts? Like, walk us through a little bit of it.
well, as you know, but for any listeners that might not know, so like the American crocodile in Florida was at some point almost gone. Not existent, extinct, however you want to call it. Back in the 70s, their numbers were super low, and basically anyone that's lived here, before the 70s, or since the 70s, never saw a crocodile unless they were like in Everglades National Park, and they might have seen maybe one or something if they were lucky. Luckily, since then, a lot of effort's been put into their conservation. Now we're estimated about 2,000 individuals in the state. So it's from about 200 or so individuals estimated in the 70s, with maybe like less than 20 nests in the whole state. Now I think the last count was like 170 nests. I think they had a record this past year or something like that. Someone from UF will have to correct me on that one because I don't know the exact number. But so yeah, they're doing a lot better for sure. But it's definitely like an evolving thing because back in the 70s, like how many people were living in Miami versus how many people are living now. Just in the last 10 years, the population of Florida has gone up. Like, I forget how many, like 9 million people.
It's insane. Yes, it's something
So,
insane.
And most of that's in crocodile range.
Yes.
So even though their numbers are up, they don't have necessarily more places to go to. All the places they're going to where they've historically been is now probably highly modified, degraded, or not there anymore. So even though they're coming up in their population, their conservation
Their
status is still kind of
habitat is-
always like up in the air. Like, hey, well, what's going to happen now? Because you're coming into that thing where like we get with alligators. Like now there's too many alligators. Not that there's too many, but like there's a lot that come into contact with people now, and that's kind of forced agencies to establish protocols where now it's kind of like, well, it's not necessarily pro alligator. And even though we're still pretty, we're pretty good with crocs right now because we get, over 14,000 calls a year for alligators. I might get 300 or so for crocodiles. So we definitely have the ability to, evaluate each and every one to, give the level of care to each case to know, okay, this is how we need to judge this case, how we need to respond to this case for the betterment of the crocodile, but also like taking into consideration, public safety and stuff. But like without it being kind of, with alligators, it's more of, if it's over 4 foot and you feel it's a threat, then it, doesn't matter if it is or not, then it's gone. So we can definitely, take more care with that with croc.
Now you've been doing this. How long have you been doing the at the crocodile program now?
The FWC crocodile since May 2023, so like 2.5 years, I guess now.
What's the most interesting place you have traveled to catch a crocodile in Florida?
I would say probably Palmdale. We got a call there once, and I know that one's controversial because it was about like 1.5 miles away from Gatorama, and I know that place has a lot of history with crocodiles and whatnot, and but that one was very interesting because it was at but like a functioning sand mine, and it was underneath just like a trailer, and they called us, there's a crocodile here. And we're like, okay,
Yeah,
it's a
right.
crocodile. Send us a picture, we'll verify it's an alligator. But sure enough, it was a crocodile. I was like, oh my gosh. And I was the closest one, so I went there and we got her out. And as much as I could examine her, and I got with the owner of Gatorama and stuff, it did not look to me like an animal that's seen captivity, at least very recently at all. That sometimes you get like if the ones that have been concrete ponds, they get like the kind of rough pads on their
calluses
feet
and stuff. Yeah.
The ones that size, it would have been marked or microchipped or something. She didn't have any of that. It was definitely an American crocodile, but and when you look at the map, it's definitely not impossible. You follow the Caloosahatchee up to the Lake Okeechobee, Fish Eating Creek. And Fish Eating Creek goes right by where that place was, so it's not impossible. And it's not the first time they've pulled American crocs out of there, but you'd have to do genetic work to see, was this a Florida croc, or was this more of like the Jamaican line croc that you get over from some of the captive places? But
So you mentioned that. Now let's go there for a second. There's, the American crocodile goes through the Americas, Central America, Northern South America, and the Caribbean. Are there any like visible differences between them, or is it just genetics? Looking at them, you can really tell a difference.
I wish I could. I've only worked with them, seen them in like 2 or 3 other countries.
Yeah.
And as far as I can tell, I mean, they kind of. I've seen ones in El Salvador that look like the ones I see here, and then I've seen some that are like Jamaican ones. I just see most of those like through pictures and stuff, and some of them look different. But it's weird. Like you can even get in the same Florida ones, you get some that look very, one phenotype, and you get others that look completely different.
Yeah.
In Florida, I've noticed there's a lot of ones that have like this kind of weird underbite on the jaws, and they kind of look kind of goofy to me, which I haven't seen in other places.
The other thing I wanted to ask you, I notice, when I'm down there visiting Marissa or other places down that way.
He means Belize, by the way.
Yeah.
For those
down
of you
there.
watching at home.
The American crocs down there, you don't really see them laying out during the day. They're basking in the moonlight at night. Do you ever see that in South Florida? I haven't spent a lot of time looking at crocodiles in South Florida, so I don't know. But is that something that you guys ever see?
Not that I've seen. I mean, I know we definitely get like this time of year we get a spike in crocodile calls just because, the temperature goes down, so they're seen basking a lot more towards the day. But I'm sure they're out like at night just to get cool.
Okay.
I would see that a lot with alligators in Southeast Texas. Like in the summertime, they would come out when the water was just like disgustingly hot during the day, and they would come out at night to like cool down and
Interesting.
All that stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
I would see that a lot with alligators for sure.
Okay. I always wondered that.
See, there you go.
We see that down there where they won't lay out during the day at all, but if it's like any part of it close to being a full moon, they're laying out at nighttime basking in the moonlight.
Yeah, I know that she's
And I'm like, that's
mentioned a lot.
flipping
Yeah.
cool, man, to like go around the boat or see that, and you're like, that is so different. Which is a different level of hot down there too, so it kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
We think Florida gets hot. There's no comparison.
Yeah.
It's like you're stuck in a sauna.
Yeah, it's like that sun like smushes you. And you feel
does,
it just like, crush you.
It really does. Dan, thank you so much for taking the time to come up here and chat with us. This has been a blast. I'm sorry that we went into some parallels of in situ-ness, but this has been awesome, buddy.
Oh no, thanks for having me. It's a real honor to be part of the lineup of people that have been on the show. So
yeah, we have been very blessed to have some amazing people on, without a doubt. I mean, it's every week I kind of go, man, I can't believe we're talking to that person. It's true.
Yeah.
It really is true. Yeah, it's way above my pay grade. But you guys ready to end this thing?
Sure.
All right. So thank you all for tuning in to the EEARSS podcast produced by Terrier TV here at Titusville High School. I am Navarro Robb. That's my name backwards because I'm being silly. My last name is Robb, R-O-B-B, not R-O-B. So if you want to learn more about EEARSS, go over to EEARSS.org or EEARSS.com or AlligatorRobb.com. They'll all take you to the same place. It's a secret. It's not a secret at all. Tell all your friends. Thank you all for tuning in. We will catch you all next week. Bye-bye.